Hello everybody and welcome to Friday night stream. Tonight we are playing Root Film. Now Root Film is by the same company that made Root Letter, and they are both set in the same part of Japan, that being Shimane Prefecture, but they are actually both very different games. So I don't really know what to expect from this one. It is going to be a mystery game of some kind, and it obviously already looks pretty haunted. It looks like it's going to be a thriller of sorts. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this. It is a visual novel apparently, but I don't really know much about it beyond that. I just know that from the screenshots it looked good in the lead up to release, and I was such a fan of Root Letter that I was just going to pick this up and play it regardless. So I've put myself on radio silence about it so I can be I can be surprised by it as I play along. So, yeah, we'll give people a moment or two to jump on. We have started a little bit early now. I will say in advance, and this is more, I guess, for people who might watch it on playback, since nobody's actually on the stream right now, but my internet has been all kinds of screwy this week, so it may drop out. If it does drop out, I will be back as soon as I can get it going again. But I just want to warn people, if there's some kind of odd pause in the middle of play tonight, that is why I've been temporarily disabled. But yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's play Root Film. Jumping on start. Obviously I haven't got anything to continue. Who knows what to expect from this already. It looks good. I like the red aesthetic. It's always very striking and dramatic and stuff. So yeah, that's a good look. Winter has come for me and me alone. My body convulses uncontrollably. I don't imagine that is Shimane. I haven't actually been to anywhere in Shimane, but I don't think it's that built up. You probably start in Tokyo or something and then head out afterwards. My cells desperately start to try to start a fire, but no avail. Temperature dropping and dropping. Ah, we're taking a fall, it seems. Well, this is certainly a very dramatic start. Strong writing right from the outset. That was the thing that was always great about Root Letter. If you haven't played it before, definitely go and check it out. It is a very well written little visual novel mystery thing. It's got the right mix of intrigue and humour and everything else that you may want from a mystery visual novel, and it was backed up by some really nice art. It's a very nice aesthetic. So you can grab that on Switch and whatever as well. You don't have to play it to play this one. Like I said at the start, they are completely independent of one another. Ooh. So we've gone splat. We've taken a fall and gone splat, and people are just like taking photos of us. Sure, why not? That's what I'd do. Lots and lots and lots of photographers. There's some pink stuff coming out. Gross. It's a commentary on our inability to be empathetic in this technological age. We're all too busy taking photos and recording everything that's slightly different or interesting for social media cred, and we're not interested in helping one another anymore. That's what this is scene is clearly about. And click. Told you. Photo shoot. See, I even said that. I should write visual novels or something. They're here for the spectacle to take pictures and upload them online. That's exactly what I just said. It's a pertinent theme. Very poetic. So that's the introduction. Yagumo Part 1 Prologue. And now we're actually going to get into the that was a prelude, and now we're getting into the narrative itself. Very Shakespearean device, you know. Show the results of the tragedy up front, and everybody knows what's going to happen, and it's about the journey and how they got there that matters. There we go. So we're being introduced to a couple of characters. Right from the outset, this game looks very different to Root Letter. I imagine that completely different artists were involved, because this doesn't look anything like its namesake predecessor. Get to see some snacks in the back there. They're obviously working on something pretty hard, and they're crashing and sleeping on the lounge there. Now, I assume all of this is spoken. I can't hear anything because I've turned the sound off to do this stream without echoes, but I assume it's all voice. This is, well, at least Root Letter was a higher production value visual novel, and I'm assuming that this one's the same. They're obviously manipulating some video footage or something. They're creating a ghost, I think. That's my guess. They're fabricating a horror story up. Magari seems to be the girl, I'm assuming. I like her, she's pretty. Twin tails and everything. Okay, Boomer. Throw in a bit of topical humour in there. Still don't know exactly what they're doing. Welcome, Beaten on Easy. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, that's going to piss people off because that's obviously a an insertion by translation. I'd be interested to know how they translated that, what the Japanese original for that boomer comment was, because you're right. It's one of the first things you see too. This is what, about less than 10 minutes into the game, and you're already seeing translation, creative liberties being taken. So that's going to be fun. I will say, from my memories, it's been a while since I played Root Letter, but I definitely prefer the aesthetic here. This game is immediately very gorgeous. I love the character design. It's really nicely done. Very bold, very clean lines. And even though it is bold and clean, it also has a nice level of detail in it. So I think it's a step up from memory from Root Letter. Root Letter was a little bit plain. It was done in a very aesthetically pleasing way, but it was a little bit plain. So Aine Magari. So Magari. I do like her. I'm looking forward to learning more about her. I didn't know that. The original Root Letter was illustrated by the person who did the Love Plus games. That I did not know. So that's an interesting bit of trivia. Like I said, I think they did their art style is very lovely. But this one, I guess, is more my kind of beat. Just from the mix of very bold, high contrast colours and very thick kind of lines, but also a fairly high level of detail. But Love Plus is lovely too. I always wished Love Plus got a release in the West. I do have Love Plus on the DS as well as the 3DS one, I think, and I have never really got stuck into them because you need to have pretty advanced Japanese to get along with them, and I just haven't. But I remember playing Love Plus for the first time in an art exhibition that was going on in Japan. First time I went to Japan, we went along to this kind of interactive art exhibition in one of the major galleries, and as part of that interactive art thing, they had a video game section, and in that they had Love Plus. So that was the first time I think I was exposed to the idea that dating simulators had kind of artistic legitimacy within Japan. That was pretty neat. So I went and bought a copy of Love Plus after that and struggled through it a little bit. Enjoyed the art style, that's for sure. Hello Diddy Ram, welcome to the stream. Shimane's lovely. For people who don't know much about Shimane, which is again where this game takes place, Shimane is best known for being the prefecture where you need to carry an umbrella with you at all times because it will rain. Basically, it doesn't matter how nice the weather looks when you leave the house, it will rain. It's very famous for that, just out of nowhere just starting to rain. So a little bit like Melbourne in Australia, but nicer. Okay, so after all that, a little bit of background talk for you. Let's have a check of our email, shall we? Where do we check our email from? I'm guessing here. Editing room, they got computers, I assume they have an email there. Dating simulators are absolutely art, Diddy. The Japanese art gallery said so. Rin Taro. Good name. So maybe that's not where we check our email. Maybe his room. Somewhere there's going to be a computer we can check email on. There we go. Oh look! That little character there that you see on the screen between the two computer monitors, I'm pretty sure that's the mascot for the Shimane Prefecture. Or at least one of the cities in there. So yeah, that's the official town mascot or prefecture mascot. It's cute. It's a cat. Oh, come on. Opened the email and only finds 3 messages. I wish. I opened my email, I've got like 70 sitting there waiting for me. My phone has like 18,900 unread messages because I just can't keep up. Will I review Memoirs of a Battle Brothel? No, I've never even heard of that game, but I will check it out. If it's in English, then I will see if I can find the time to review it. Subject, you're in grave danger. Subject, your password has been frozen. Subject, I'm heading to Shimane. I wonder if they're all linked. Let's read this one. What are we in grave danger about? Oh, cool. If it's on itch, I'll check it out. I am a big fan of your company's Vengeful Ghost Archipelago series on DVD. So this guy's a horror film director of sorts. That's what he does. What a job. This guy's a nutcase. Why do occult DVDs always attract occultists? I wonder. That's a thing to ponder. Thanks for the tip, Diddy. I will definitely check it out. I will. I'll play the demo on itch if nothing else. Alright, let's check. How did our password get frozen if we can actually log in? There's a question for you. From Amazon customer support. I reckon that's Amazon, right? It was a phishing attack. A little bit of commentary there about how good scammers are about using the official logos of companies. Alright, let's check out this one. When does Sakuya email me? Oh, there's a good brother. Doesn't delete the email, just archives it. Man, I wish I could get away with just having 3 emails in a day. That would just be bliss. Imagine that, just being able to turn on your computer once in a day, read 3 emails and then get on with your day. That would just be, oh, that's living the dream. So I wonder when Zista's going to show up. Hey Matt, welcome to the stream. Mark everything as red before you see it. That would be a good idea. But tell me, what's your trick for catching up on 20,000 odd unread Gmail emails? Because you can't mass select them all. I wish I could. I'd just clear everything off. But that number just keeps getting bigger. I'm so bad at email management. Well, we're finding out, Diddy. I have no idea how much of a masterpiece Root film is. So far, it's off to a good start, it seems. I love the art. I really do love this art style. That's her mug. Oh, that's cute. It's like a doggy character on the mug. I like it. So this Izogami is talking business. We've got to go and have a meeting. Ah, he be the publisher of the Spirit DVDs. Got it. Or not. Planning manager for TV licensing. Oh, we're doing a TV deal. Cool. Shimane TV. I'm sure lots of people watch that. I wonder if this one is like Root Letter, because Root Letter actually took place in actual parts of Shimane City. The actual locations were real. So they actually went and did a remake of Root Letter where they did photos and they had real actors doing the poses of the visual novel. So it was all actually even more real. I preferred the anime version, but it just goes to show how committed to authenticity they are. I'm just wondering if this one's similar. I hope so. And now we're outside. It's not raining yet. But they haven't got their umbrella. They're going to get caught. It's going to rain. That not wearing a suit thing's actually a pretty big deal in Japan. It's still very much a suit wearing culture for doing business and stuff. So the fact he hasn't got a suit is quite telling about the character. We wouldn't necessarily care about it out here in the West anymore, but over there, it's a big deal. Alright. So, Shimane TV headquarters. Press and hold. That was gameplay. Not wearing a suit is... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of suits either. I don't mind wearing a suit on specific occasions, but for business meetings and stuff, it's a bit of an overkill. But for a dinner or a particular kind of night event, then a nice suit is nice. It feels good to wear. She's wearing a mini skirt, I think, and maybe shorts underneath. I just noticed the full body character there. Anyway, let's move on. TV lobby, paper bag. So she's obviously the competent one of the two, of course. Bring in a present. That's also a big part of Japanese business culture. You got to learn all these rules about Japanese business culture if you spend any time over there. Another one that always gets me, it always amuses me, is the way you exchange business cards. So you've got to have business cards. That's still a big deal over there. And you've got to hold the business card with both hands, and you've got to make sure that your business card is underneath the person who's giving you their business card, because you've got to show deference to them. So you've got to hold the business card underneath, and it ends up being like this competition for who can hold the business card the lowest. It's a funny system. It's all kind of part of the fun of dealing with Japanese business, but yeah, it's all very specific. So if you're going to do a video game about it, it becomes quite a challenge to localize so that people in the West get it. As like I said, there's all this basic business etiquette. It's kind of it's amusing in the Japanese context, but hard to localize. Oh, so she was a former delinquent too. I'm liking her more and more. She's the best. Very TV producer guy, this Isogami. No, it's not. It's not cringe at all. It's great. I'm enjoying it immediately. It's got the same kind of humor as the previous root letter. Same sense of humor, anyway. Okay, so they're talking shop. Not really much else to add right now. A project's going to be confirmed. Thanks for checking that, Beaten on Easy. So, you just for people who watch it on playback and don't check the feed, the chat feed. So, Beaten on Easy has gone and found out what the boomer quote at the very start of the game was referring to, and yeah, I agree. That's close enough. It's not exactly right, but it is close enough. So, good translation job, P-Cube. I didn't mention that at the start. P-Cube's actually the localizer and publisher of this one. So, what they're going to be doing is a mystery drama set in Shimane. But it was a suspended, cursed project. I do like translations, Diddy. I'm always amused. I'm always interested to see how things are translated, because I'm not one of those people that think you can do a literal translation. I do understand that translations need creative licenses usually, because especially Japanese to English, they don't translate neatly at all. So yeah, I like to see how different translators handle difficult translations. Why are they against it? So it's a cursed film. That's why it was suspended. It's cursed. Some sort of incident caught on film. I'd like you to watch the film and see if you can find out what happened. It's The Ring. You watch the film, you got 7 days left to live. I don't like it when translators say that theirs is the best or objectively correct translation. No, absolutely, you're right. There is no best or objectively correct translation. It's all just a matter of interpretation, and that is how the very imperfect art of translation Needs to be, because languages do not have a one-to-one equivalency. So you do have to work out what it means for you and then apply it. So I don't think that the translation conversation in video games has got all kinds of sour because of certain actors, but I think that, like literature and film and every other kind of translation out there, it can't be literal, and that means that there are different ways that you can look at it. So Ju-on fan rather than The Ring. I wasn't such a fan of The Ring film, since we are talking about The Ring now. I wasn't so much a big fan of The Ring films, but the books were ace. Absolutely loved The Ring novel. The Ring novel isn't really horror at all. It's much more it's more a page-turner thriller kind of thing, but not really that. It just wasn't scary on any level. It wasn't meant to be. It was only turned into a scary thing when they decided to make it into films. But yeah, it's amazing writing. The author is incredible. Alright, so we're off to watch the Cursed Film Archive. I disagree. You say that the first book was good, the others are bad. The first two books are both excellent. The third one goes off the rails a bit when they go into the whole simulation story. That lost me quite a lot. But the first two, I was just amazed. I couldn't put those books down. Can't recommend The Ring enough as literature. Yes, that I can believe. There is such a thing as a worse translation. I totally agree with you, Beaten on Easy. Alright, so let's go into the Archive Centre and watch the film backup, or the cursed film, The Ring. Oh good, they're doing the right thing. They've put all the archives underground to control temperature and humidity as you need to. Got to preserve those precious tapes. See, TV and film, they get it. They get the value of archiving. Video games still don't, which is a different topic entirely, I know, but I'm not going to give up on it until we get better archiving of video games. Show us. Oh, that's pretty neat. Very well looked after archive. Show us this film. $16mm film. Ooh. Cursed. Oh, they don't even know the name of the filmmaker. Yeah, this is definitely a haunted film. I bet the whole point of this investigation is you're going to have to, or at least the first part of it, the first big part of this game will be tracking down who the actual director of this film was. Ooh, that's a mystery. All the places you'd expect to hear the director's voice have been erased. Every single one. That's a red flag. He doesn't... You're right, he doesn't look well at all. I don't think there's zombies in this game, though. I don't think that's the kind of horror that we're looking for. Ooh. What do we got here? Is this... What are we doing? He's got some kind of special power to tell if somebody's lying or something, I guess. Oh, okay. Vital keywords we can save because they float in midair. Synesthesia. A condition where people can taste sounds or hear color. Oh, okay. Don't know much about synesthesia, so I'm going to assume that that's taking creative license about what the actual condition's like, but that's a neat trick. Synesthesia activated. Cool. The detective process. Actually, mentioning the detective process, one thing I've always wanted to do is do a visual novel adaptation of one of the Raymond Chandler, Philip Marlowe books. I've always wanted to do like The Big Sleep, the visual novel or something. I think that would be awesome. And the way that you could play around with the detective process in the context of a visual novel, that would be so much fun. We don't get enough noir in video games. Not good ones anyway. Everything tries to be cyberpunk instead. Ah, see, told you it would rain. It was shot in Shimane, so there you go. You don't have to wait long to get the rain shots if you're shooting a film and it needs a rain scene. Who is that? Yes, I agree. She's very pretty. This is where it starts to get weird. Look closely at the pond beyond the actress. What are we going to see? Something haunted. Bring on long-haired ghost girls. Oh! I said bring on long-haired ghost girls. Voila! Long-haired ghost girl. Nailed it. Ouch. Well, that came out of nowhere. I'm not sure there's such a difference between mystery drama and horror drama. I think they're pretty close to one another, especially these days. Oh, it hasn't been edited either. The mystery gets deeper. Oh, Ghost Woman appears in lots of cuts through the film. Cool. I was right when I said it was a haunted film. Excellent. Clearly inspired by the Ring, this film, this game. So they took it, okay. Yeah, it does seem a little bit weird that these two would be freaked out by it. I mean, it was just a ghost girl. It wasn't doing anything. It was just standing there. So surely they wouldn't be freaked out by it too much. Given that they specialize in horror films. If it's real, now they're going to study it. Cool. That's an oddly specific request. A Korean barbecue as a reward as such for watching the film again. Mind you, Korean barbecue is great, so that makes sense. One thing I am enjoying about this so far, and we are, 42 minutes in, so we've only just started really, but this is very much on point. This whole game so far hasn't messed around with too much of an effort to do characterization and wasted lots of words with setting the scene. They've got straight into it and just hit you hard with the plot points and moving the thing through. It's quite good. I do like it when visual novels are efficient and not wasting my time to get to the point of them. Okay. Here comes Ghost Girl. Boom. There she is. Field trip time. We're going to go in out and actually check this pond. Do we need to investigate now? That's convenient. We only get the bare minimum scene data due to a non-disclosure agreement. Right. Convenient contrivance, but I'll accept it. Okay, we need to figure out where we are. I'm thinking that sign there will do it, but I wonder what they have to say about the woman. We'll find her, I'm sure. This will be the thing that tells us whether we can... Do we know where that sign is? We'll figure it out soon enough. Shimane is a pretty big place. That is indeed the truth. You're not going to find it just by walking around. Alright, so we're going to walk around Matsui looking for that sign. I want to see the castle. Let's go to the castle, shall we? I just want to hang out at the castle. That looks like a pretty good drawing of it. I have been to that castle, so yeah, it's a pretty good drawing. It's a ghost castle. I wanted to go in, damn it. It's not open world enough. Can't go into the castle. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious that the body of water is this Lake Shinji. One would assume. So, some trivia for you. The 7th largest lake in Japan. Japan has some very big lakes. Huge ones. They look like the ocean. Oh, the mascot showed up. Shimane, neko being cat. Pretty sure the mascot was in root letter as well, from memory. So if you don't know much about Japanese mascots, every town and prefecture in Japan has mascots, sometimes multiple of them. And there's a lot of competition, or there's a lot of competition between the various prefectures to have the most interesting mascot, and it can be big business. So the mascot of Kumamon, that's a bear's name, the mascot of Kumamoto Prefecture, Kumamon, rose billions of dollars all by himself for relief after they had the big earthquake a couple of years ago. So if a mascot is popular, it's actually worth a lot to the prefecture in town. The problem was they actually started to spend so much money on these mascots because it became so competitive, and they had this big competition where you'd vote for your favorite mascot, and that mascot would be huge in Japan for the next year. But it just became such a money drain, and it was all government, money, so tax money, that they put an end to it, unfortunately. But yeah, the mascot thing in Japan is just massive. We don't really have a equivalent anywhere else in the world, I think, to just how obsessed with mascots Japan is. And that's where Hatsune Miku comes from. The reason Miku exists is, I mean, in any other country they have this music software that does the singing. They think that's great, let's just sell it as is. But the Japanese mindset is to give it a character, and bam, you end up with Miku. So the thing with mascots it's really ingrained within the entire culture. Oh, I see. So Shimane has just showed up to say that's not where you want to be. He's like the all-seeing, omnipresent guide figure. It's like an angel. Alright, so that wasn't there. Maybe we'll go to... Where else can we go? Not many other places. Let's go to the Archive Center. See if there's anything here. Probably not. Just zombie men. So he was no help. The ko suffix is Japanese. That's not localization. They should have called him Big Shimane Brother. Possibly, but Shimaneko is the name. It's a proper noun ditty, so you have to preserve it. Isogami, and that's the actor, isn't she? I'm pretty sure that's the actor. Yeah, where have you seen that woman before? She was the one in the raincoat with the umbrella. I'm telling you, that's it. Nailed it. I should be a detective. Alright, let's chat to this dude. Something shifty about him. Alright, so he wasn't any help. I still don't believe it's the manager. I reckon it's the woman. I reckon she was the actor. That's my bet. I'm sticking with it. So I don't think there's anything else we can do right now. We just got to head back to the studio. Let's just chill. Nope. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Go to a different room, I guess. Alright, so there's only one place left to check out, and that's the main room of this building. Hopefully that moves things along. Or not. Okay. So, what do we do? And we can choose between those maps. That doesn't really help. Maybe we go back to Lake Shinji. I don't know, maybe the Neko mascot will help us out again. Oh, that doesn't help. Ay, ay, ay. Oh no, we just had to check out the castle twice. Perhaps. Nope. Okay. So, maybe, what's his name has something more for us? What else you got for us, fella? Yeah, that's a little bit suspicious. It's time to redeem myself a decade later. What else could that possibly mean? Alright, so we need to meet him there. Cool, now we've got a lead. The director was involved, and we're going to go and meet him after he gets off his plane. So I guess we haven't got anything else to do but go back home and chill. Nope. Sometimes this trial and error stuff that you got to do in these games just drives me nuts. Nope. Maybe I'll go and talk to that guy again. Third time's a charm, perhaps. Alright, so he hasn't got anything else to say either. Fine. Try the editing room in here one more time. That's the only other room we haven't checked in here. Give us something. Anything. Nope. Rightio. So that wasn't going to work. Let's head to the archive centre then. Maybe it's got something else for me. Nope. So 2 spots left. We can go back to the lake or the castle. Let's go back to the lake. Nope. And last but not least, the castle. Let's just see if we're absolutely stuck. Alright, so we've checked everywhere now. I don't know what to do. We'll go back to this guy, I guess. See if we can find some way to ask him something else. Nope, saying the same thing. Nothing else I can select in there. Yeah. Ah, we were able to go along to here, which was the next spot. I just didn't realise I could zoom out and then zoom into the next area. Cool. That's a nice little part of Shimane. Look how pretty that is. I always like that kind of wood design of the building that you see in the front right there. That's quite common with the more traditional buildings in Japan. I do like that aesthetic. And I do like the stone roads, yes. The stone pavements are very nice in the more traditional parts of towns. Cool, so we're going to go, we've figured out where that sign was, and now we can hang out there. It's all the way down there. Car trip. Road trip. Oh, that's cool. The boundary between the real world and the Yomi, the underworld. Hell. It's the gates to hell. I guess men have always been perverts, huh? Yeah, you got that right with Magari. Oops. Magari's totally gutless. Totally gutless. But we're here now. Oh yeah, that's right. That is definitely the sign.
あ、確かにあの看板っすね。そう。つまりあのフィルムで女優が歩くシーンは出たってこの坂を登ったところが黄泉の入り口をちびきの岩で塞いだ場所。世も確か坂の途中に池があったような気がするしな。あの幽霊が立ってる。本当に出た。だから出ないって。
Oh, that's all very haunted.
フィルムに映っていたものと比べてなんだよ。どう
Oh, have we seen the ghost? Have we seen the ghost? Show us the ghost.
出たって。
Oh, but she's got short hair now.
何をしてんすか。あんた行けばいい。いいから行けって。じゃこの
Oh, did we see a ghost? No, just a normal person, just a tourist.
いえいえ、うちの足だけ、このアホ。ところで、女性お一人でこんなところに観光とは珍しいです。
Oh, that's just a terrible line. What's a woman like you sightseeing in a place like this? Good job, good effort.
天国への手紙ポストで。失礼かもしれませんが、もしかはあ、ああ、そう、そうはい。
All men are perverts indeed. All right. I think that's a good place to finish up this stream. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on it. This was the first hour of Root's film, and it is interesting. I'm quite involved with its mystery, I think, and I do love the art style. I love the efficiency with which it's telling its story, and I think this will be a bit of a cracker. So I'm going to continue playing it and have a review up on digitallydownloaded.net next week. Otherwise, I hope you all have a lovely weekend playing video games or doing whatever else it is that you are doing. As always, thank you again for joining us on the stream. And we will see... If Root Film is so good, where's Root Cinema? That's the sequel, Diddy. If Root Film is a great game, we'll see Root Cinema next. Anyway, on that note, we'll head off. Thanks everyone for joining us, and have a great weekend. See you next time.